Shalom, Chabarim, Shalom. Today's daily psalm, according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, we have Psalm Kof Aleph. Kof Aleph. Psalm CI. Psalm 101 from the Sefer Tehillim, from the Psalter, chapter 101, the Kof Aleph. Kof Aleph. The Kof Aleph Psalm, the CI Psalm, the 101 Psalm, an ideal kingship psalm. Now it needs to be noted, according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrews after the order of Meleki Esedek, that this psalm was one of the psalms that was recited by Garmawi Negus Neges, Garmawi John Hoy, by His Majesty, Coronation Day. I think this is one of the psalms in the evening leading up to the coronation, but in that time period, a coronation psalm right here. And this psalm recited by His Imperial Majesty himself. And it's interesting psalm, the Kof Aleph Psalm, an ideal kingship psalm. Share a little bit right here. We also have the order of the coronation. Need to get some more copies of that from Far I, yes, I, and Deborah Zayt books. Very, very good. The first English translation of the original Amharic and Ge'ez text of the Kedase, the liturgy, the holy sacred liturgy, and the program for the coronation of Garmawi Adamawi Haile Selassie, of His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, November 2nd, 1930. So this is one of the coronation psalms right here, one of the psalms that was uttered and spoken by Garmawi John Hoy, by His Majesty Garmawi Negus Neges himself, circa November 2nd, acceptable year of the Lord, 1930. November 2nd, 1930 A.D. An ideal kingship. Today's daily psalm, according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, the Rastafari order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, after the order of Meleki Esedek, after the order of Melchizedek, Melchizedek, the righteous king, even the King of Kings, Kadamawi, Haile Selassie. Weep not, behold, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof. An ideal kingship. Many commentators agree that in this psalm, in this mizmor, this chant, this intonation, we have the utterance of a king, of a melech, the utterance of a negus, even negusa neges, the Ethiopia, who formulates the principles which will guide him in his reign. I think that's worth repeating right there from the Sefer Tehillim. We have this note right here in the Sotino version. We have many commentators. This psalm is themed an ideal kingship. An ideal kingship. The psalmist's profession of uprightness, and it's superscribed as LeDavid, LeDavid Mizmor, a psalm of David, and after Yahweh's own heart. It says many commentators agree that in this psalm, in this Mizmor, we have the utterance of a king who formulates the principles which will guide him in his reign. So when it came to our attention that this is one of the psalms recited by His Imperial Majesty himself, right? I think prior to, and perhaps it's also contained in the coronation, but this was uttered November 2nd, coronation, weep not, behold, right? The conquering lion of the tribe of the root of David. So here we have the utterance of a negus, even negus neges, of the Melech HaKavod, Yekubur Negus, the king, even the king of glory, who formulates the principles which will guide him in his reign. As such, it sets forth an ideal of the throne, even the throne of great King David, the throne of Yahweh, the throne of He who be who He be, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hashem, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hashem. Setting forth an ideal, the ideal of the Davidic throne, which is on the highest plane. Now, centuries ago, it was given the title. Centuries ago, this very psalm, the Kof Aleph, the Psalm CI, the 101st Psalm, was given the title of the Prince's Psalm. In other words, the Prince, the Psalm of the Prince, as well as the mirror of the magistrates, or mirror for magistrates, the mirror for magistrates, and the Prince's Psalm. This psalm, today's daily psalm, also known as an ideal, themed here, an ideal kingship and coronation psalm of Karmawi Haile Selassie, one of the psalms. Centuries ago, this was what it was titled and given, a Prince's Psalm, a mirror for magistrates or judges. Now, the poignant question at the opening of the psalm, what's the poignant question? Oh, when will thou come to I? Oh, when will thou come to I? Matai tabo alai. Matai tabo alai. Alai to I. Matai tabo alai. Oh, when wilt thou come to I? When? This receives its most pointed explanation at the opening. At the opening, receiving its most pointed explanation. Right? On the hypothesis that the Mizmor was composed, this psalm, this chant, this intonation by Dawid, at the beginning of his reign. So this psalm, right, based on the hypothesis that it was composed by great King David at the beginning of his reign and recited even by the greater David, greater son, at the beginning of his reign. His ardent wish and desire was to install the ark of the covenant. His ardent wish was to install, what was his ardent wish? To install the Ark of the Covenant, captured from the Philistines in Jerusalem. B'Yerushalayim, in Jerusalem, by Yerushalayim, in Jerusalem, Jerusalem. The untoward incident, recall, the death of Uzzah. This frustrated his first attempt to realize that hope. So David's first attempt to realize that hope, right, of installing the Ark of the Covenant in Jerusalem was frustrated because of the untoward incident, namely the death of Uzzah. That frustrated that first attempt to realize that hope, that expectation, that had filled Dawid with fear and dread. And caused him to exclaim, according to 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 9, how shall the ark of Hashem, how shall the ark of Adonai, how shall the ark of Yahweh come to I? In 2 Samuel 6 and 9. His question implied that before Jerusalem could have the privilege of housing the ark, Aaron, right, in the Hebrew, the Tabot, the city must be made fit. The city had to be made fit for its reception by a thorough eradication of evil. That the city had to be made fit for the reception of the Tabot, of the Ark, of Ha'aron, the Aron Ha'edut, the Ark of the Covenant, right? The Ark of the Testimony, Ha'brit, the Ark of the Witness, right? Ha'edut. his purpose in making this reformation is voiced in the Mizmor, in today's psalm, the daily psalm according to the royal order. Is voiced here. So this explanation also explains why it was included immediately after the Ascension Psalms. So when we look at the order of the Sefer Tehillim, we can see the explanation as to why this psalm, today's daily psalm, the Kof Aleph, the 101 psalm, why it was included immediately after what we know as the Ascension, or the songs of degrees, the Shir HaMa'alot, the songs of ascension, your Ma'arik psalms. Now, Zion, Zion could only become a fitting resting place for Ha'aron, for the Tabotu, after the city had been cleansed of all unrighteousness. As the earth could only become the kingdom, as the earth in the same way that the city of Zion, right, the castle of David and the city of David, Zion, had to become a proper resting place for Ha'aron, for the ark, for Tabotu. Only after the city has been cleansed of all unrighteousness. In the same way, the earth could only and can only become the kingdom, right, the kingdom of Elohim, when wickedness, when ratchetness had been eliminated. Seek ye first the kingdom of Elohim and his righteousness. Right, and all other things to be added. Seek ye first. What's the first? Seek ye first the kingdom. Right, so isn't that interesting? In the Brit Chadash, we have that word from Rabboni, Robbeinu, Yeshua, HaMoshiach, I, Lord, I, Savior. And then David, a man after Hashem's own heart, a man after Adonai's own heart, expressing the very same, the one and the same sentiment, but even more than sentiment is an ardent desire, right? It's almost like a zeal in that sense. David had that messianic zeal. He had that messianic zeal, and we need to recognize, right? We need to recognize David's messianic zeal. And for good reason, right? And for good reason. The ark. He sought to bring up the ark of the covenant to Zion, to Zion. And so everything that had happened was like a preparation, right, for this right here, this utterance right here, the principles. All right, what be the first principles of the Divrei Elohim? What's the first principles of the messianic kingship and government reign? These are, here it goes right here, in the Prince's Psalm, in the Mirror for Magistrates, an ideal kingship, where the psalmist, right, even David, and even the greater David, right? Even David, right? Bain David, Moshiach Bain David, here professes the uprightness of the Messianic kingdom and the Messianic government and rule and reign. So we have today's daily psalm, according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrew, the Kof Aleph, the 101 Psalm, the 101 Psalm.